Did you know that approximately 500,000 Canadians are living with sight loss, and approximately 200,000 of those are just in Ontario? 90% of people who are considered blind have some variation of sight, being light perception or blurry vision, and the white cane can be used to detect depth, curbs, and other obstacles. Leading causes of blindness are cataracts, glaucoma, and age-related macular degeneration. Being legally blind means having a visual acuity of 20/200 or less, 20/20 being perfect vision. The first full week in February is White Cane Week. This is a week designated to bringing awareness towards the blind and low vision community and the white canes that they use. Today, that is what we will be talking about.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here today, and if you didn't already know by the title of this video, we are going to be talking to you about White Cane Week. Although this did happen last week, we are a bit slow, so we are going to be talking to you today about it. White Cane Week is the first full week of February, and it kicks off February very nicely because February is Low Vision Awareness Month. And tune into our Instagram this week because every day we will be doing posts and Instagram stories about low vision awareness, as well as a Instagram live on Friday at 7 p.m. So tune into that for some fun and some chit chat. But for today's video, we will be talking about different types of white canes, how they are used, and their purposes. Let's go! Alrighty, so I've got two canes here. One is obviously a lot smaller than the other. This one I got a really long time ago because it was used for different purposes than this one that I have now. It's obviously bigger and I use it for different purposes, and I'm going to go over which one kind of does what and what they were used for. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the ID cane. So it has this little strap that goes around it so that it can hold itself together. And it is attached to the handle, and then it unfolds nicely like that. This one is super small, so I think I had this one in like grade 4 when obviously I was a lot shorter. But this one is actually also supposed to be small because this is an identification cane or an ID cane. And basically it's used for people who are low vision and do have some sight. It can be used to detect like depths and curbs and find obstacles that they wouldn't necessarily see, but at the same time they can see enough that they don't necessarily need a full mobility cane. And it's also a lot smaller and more compact, and then going to fold it up, it just disconnects, folds up nicely, and it's super simple. That is your identification cane. I also used the ID cane when I was little because I traveled more like with my mom, so I would sighted guide or I wouldn't really need my cane, versus now I use my mobility cane when I travel independently because it helps me more. So now we can move on to my mobility cane. So the mobility cane is what you would typically see used by a fully blind person or mostly blind person. It's the one that I use now because I travel independently and it helps me detect objects more than an identification cane would. So super satisfying. That's probably my favorite part about having a cane. So mobility canes, most often they come up to about your shoulder, chest height. And so it has a strap, obviously the same as the other one, and then it has a nice long handle which actually has a flat side for it. I'm sure you can kind of see there, it's flat, and the flat side is so that you know which side your hand is going on, so your palm is going on that side, and then your finger can either be extended down or in. I like my finger extended because it makes it easier to go back and forth. And then moving down, usually this end is like red. But I'm fun, and one of my friends sent me some pink cane tape, so it's pink now. And then we have the tip, and the tip, mine is what we call a marshmallow tip. It used to be kind of more rounded, but because I use it, it's kind of worn down. And these tips actually can come off and you can change them, and I'm never gonna get this back in now. But you can take them off and you can change them, and there's many different tips, which I will insert a quick montage here.
obviously goes in front of you so you can detect things in front of you when you're walking. And it goes to the side of the foot that is behind you, if that makes sense. So when I step with my right foot, it's off to the left because that's where my foot is going next. And then as I bring my left forward, it goes to the right, and then I step and I go back and forth like that when I'm walking. And mine is a rolling tip, so obviously it rolls in front of me. But some of the other tips, as you may have seen, don't roll, so people can tap it back and forth just like that and detect objects in front of them. So then I just unfold it. Obviously you can kind of see that these aren't as long as they were on the identification cane. Take the strap around and put it on top. And because I'm me, if this strap is like super twisted, it totally bothers me. But otherwise, those are the two canes that I have. There is also such thing as a long cane, which is like the mobility cane, but it's slightly longer, hence the name long cane. And basically it's used for when people who walk faster, so it'll detect things farther ahead so they have more reaction time, sort of. And otherwise, those are the basic white canes and their purposes. In case I didn't mention, white canes are used by blind people, and that is what they signal. They are not metal detectors or nunchucks or sticks. They are white canes for people who can't see. And yes, I see Hannah smiling behind the camera because I have had my cane called all of those things. Alright, that is all for today, guys. I hope you learned lots and enjoyed. Keep up with our Instagram this week for all our fun posts, as well as our Instagram Live on Friday. Tune in, 7 p.m. See you then. Bye!